Up on SUTV, we'll fill you in on International Education Week.
And later we'll let you know about the Student Study Abroad program in New Zealand. Stay tuned.
Welcome to SUTV News. I'm Cairo Cook.
And I'm Race Knutson.
The time has come for SU students to register for classes. Those who will be seniors were able to start registering today, while juniors can start Friday at 8 a.m. Sophomores can register next week on Monday, and freshmen next week on Wednesday. Those who register for classes after those days are expected to have a limited choice of classes to take.
From November 12th through the 16th, the International Affairs Department will be hosting International Education Week. This week will include a service project where both students and community members can bring in gently used or new soccer equipment to be sent to communities in Mali. Donations can be brought to the living room on the 16th of November and to the International Affairs Office after the event is over. Newman Conte, an international student from Mali, is leading up the project, which will be accepting donations through May 2019.
Fun Home is a new musical running on campus. It is written by Lisa Cron, Jenny Tessery, and from Alison Bechdale's 2006 graphic memoir, the same name. The story surrounds the life of Bechdale as she discovers her own sexuality, her relationship with her gay father, and attempts to untangle the mystery that life holds for her. Fun Home runs on November 9th starting at 7:30 and November 10th starting at 2. The play does include mature context, strong language, and intense adult themes. Coming up, we'll let you know about Alec Baldwin's recent arrest.
Don't go anywhere.
I'm hungry. I can't see the board.
Good morning, class. Everyone ready to learn today?
Of course they aren't ready. Across America, health barriers keep millions of disadvantaged school children from learning. Children's Health Fund is working to remove those barriers. But to really change the odds for these kids, we need your help. To find out how you can give every child a chance to be healthy and ready to learn, visit childrenshealthfund.org today.
Actor Alec Baldwin was arrested Friday, November 2nd after he assaulted a 49-year-old man during a dispute over a parking spot near Baldwin's East Village penthouse in Manhattan. One of Baldwin's relatives had been saving his spot while the actor was attempting to park his Cadillac when Wojciech Cieszkowski swooped into the space. Both men got out of their cars and began arguing when Baldwin allegedly punched Cieszkowski in the face. Officers from New York City's 6th Precinct responded to the situation following a 911 report and found Cieszkowski with an injury to his left jaw, prompting his transportation to the hospital in stable condition. Baldwin was charged with third-degree assault and harassment, both misdemeanors, and had no comment to reporters after processing, but later tweeted that the situation was egregiously misstated.
USA Today ranked Southern Utah University 4th in the nation for applications and enrollment growth. Over the past 5 years, SU has seen an increase of applications submitted by more than 150%, while enrollment has risen almost 35%. At the end of 2017 fall semester, SU's enrollment crossed the 10,000 threshold, topping out at 10,245 students, which marks 3 years of enrollment growth for the university. SU Scott L. Wyatt said in a press release, this ranking is a clear indication that SU's representation is on the rise. Quote, he said, later went on to say, quote, our growth will continue to be steady and stable, preparing students to live lives of meaning and productivity. It is an exceptional time to be a T-Bird, close quote.
The Southern Utah Museum of Art has a new exhibit called Encountering Korea. My co-anchor, Cairo Cook, went to check it out.
Starting on October 13th, SUMA has had a new exhibit called Encountering Korea. The exhibit features artists such as Sung Jae Lee, Yong Sun, and Wee Boo Kim. In the 2 weeks Encountering Korea has been opened, the exhibit has caught the eye of several SU students.
I think it's just such an interesting conglomeration of auditory and visual and kinesthetic art into one space. It's just cool to be in a space with that kind of art, you know.
While some students come from the engineering aspect of the sculptures, others come for the abstract art.
I was just walking around and I decided to pop in. There's this really cool globe and it's made out of different wires and they're connected, and then there's also, I noticed probably the artist requested that there'd be a fan, so it's got a bit of movement, but if you don't look closely you can't really tell it's moving.
The exhibition highlights a variety of aspects through contemporary practice ranging from painting to new media as viewed through a Korean lens. Encountering Korea is open from now until December 29th. Admission is free for the public and SU students. For SUTV News, I'm Cairo Cook.
Awesome. So apparently Alec Baldwin has had a history of violent behavior, and you might know of his feud with President Donald Trump. When President Trump was informed of his arrest, he simply stated, "I wish Baldwin luck," with kind of a smirk on his face. So I think he got a kick out of that. How's the weather looking, Ansley?
Coming up, I'll let you know if the sunny weather is sticking around. Stay tuned.
Life is made of moments. Family. A drunk driver could take it all away. Keep your family safe on the road, because after all, nothing is more beautiful. Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Keep your family safe.
Welcome to Weather. I'm Ansley, subbing in for our normal weatherman, Zach Adams. So I'm going to tell you guys what it's looking like this week in Cedar City. So first of all, today, it's partly cloudy, but we have a average of 53 degrees Fahrenheit. Not too bad, but could be a little better if you wanted some more sunshine. Though, weird enough, we only have 0 wind. So, as Zach would say, maybe not the best day to fly a kite. But as Cedar City residents, sometimes you gotta rejoice in those little things because the wind is what makes it super chilly outside. 0% precipitation and 23% humidity. For the rest of the state, it kind of ranges all over the place, pretty average for Utah, but interesting enough, we have 66 degrees in St. George and 64 up in Provo, but then as you get up into Salt Lake, it drops to 48 degrees, 46 in Ogden, and 45 in Logan. Like I said earlier, 54 in happy little Cedar City, and 54 in Moab, so if you're wanting to get out there and go on a hike, it seems like the perfect weather. And sun all across the board, so for this weekend, if you're wanting to get outdoors, it's going to be great. For the rest of the week, it's going to be chilly in the evening, so make sure to bundle up. And that's all I have for you guys. Back at the desk.
Thank you, Ansley. So we are missing Zach today.
Yeah, we sure do love Zach. It's been pretty chilly lately. You can definitely tell it falls upon us. Some years, you know, you'll get really warm Novembers, you know, October. Some other years, it just gets cold fast. But hopefully, you know, we'll have some good weather for the remaining of the week as much as we can.
I wonder if Zach is actually gone flying a kite.
You know, I don't know if he's flying a kite right now. Considering that there's 0 wind in Cedar City, he's probably out doing something else. You know, who knows where his
Knowing
is.
Zach
He's a
and
character. You know, we love him to death here at the studio.
How persistent he is. He's probably just throwing the kite up and trying to run with it.
Absolutely. Some awesome things that are going on right now. You know, as we move into, you know, this kind of colder weather. You know, NFL is halfway through their season. We're going to take a quick look at the sports coming up next.
That was a
Thanks,
good
guys. Up next, we got SU sports and even a little bit of the Utah Jazz. Don't go anywhere.
Looking for these? You drive Buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving. A single ember from a wildfire can travel over a mile. That ember can ignite and destroy your home or community. You can't control where that ember will land. Only what happens before it does. Visit fireadapted.org to learn how you can help protect your community from wildfires.
So they say it's a man's world? I don't see anybody's name on it.
While they were doing their thing, we slowly changed all that.
Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
What's up, guys? Welcome to SUTV Sports. I'm Kate Higbee. Saturday marked the second game in the Thunderbird football team's 3-game homestand, this time facing up against the Montana Grizzlies. Once again, the T-Birds gave up a first possession touchdown and were never able to recover. The Grizzlies ended up scoring 20 first-quarter points, helping them to a 30-14 lead at the half. Montana quarterback Dalton Sneed refused to let the Thunderbirds get any closer, throwing for 3 of his 5 touchdowns in the third quarter alone. Sneed would end up throwing for over 300 yards and no picks in the Grizzlies' 57-14 win. SUU freshman quarterback Tyler Skidmore did get some good reps in, going 22 of 41 for 138 yards and a touchdown in the game. During his post-game press conference, head coach Demario Warren told everyone just where the game started getting out of control.
Well, the first drive we gave a touchdown, that didn't help. Then they go down and force a punt, come down and make it 14-0. Or I think it was 13-0. I don't know if he missed the second one or the third one. And then we I think we threw a pick, short field, and then they score on second down. Quarterback scrambles out, finds a guy in the back of the end zone. Then the offense, they force another punt, and then we go down 20-0. Then we score a touchdown, get a stop. Feel like we're in the game a little bit. Goes a little bit back and forth. We're down 16 at half. First play of the second half, we throw an interception. Then we give up a touchdown on second down again. Second and I think 9, something like that. And then kind of spiraled downhill from there. But it was, you got to be able to get stops and get the ball back for your offense and good field position, which we did once, and the offense went down and scored. And then we got to continue to move the ball and put points on the board. So, when you get beat like that, there's no moment that kind of spirals. They were the better team today. They came out, out-coached us, outplayed us, and it's a good program.
The Thunderbirds will look to bounce back with a game that has been circled on the calendar for them all year, a home game against the 4th-ranked Weber State Wildcats. Despite the T-Birds beating the Wildcats last year in Ogden, 32-16, Weber would get their revenge in the second round of last year's FCF playoffs, beating SUU 30-13 in front of a record 12,000 fans. As mentioned before, the Wildcats are the 4th-ranked team in the FCS and will be the second top 5 team that the Thunderbirds play this year, the other being Eastern Washington. The Wildcats currently own a 6-2 record, with their only losses being to the Utah Utes and the Northern Arizona Lumberjacks. For the SUU seniors, this game has a little more personal meaning than most.
Weber that week is they got to bring the juice. The guys that haven't been here hasn't experienced a Weber rivalry, and they got to come out and give everything they got. And this is the last chance to go fight for something tangible. So we got a trophy on the line, and it means a lot for our players when they play Weber. So it needs to really pick up, and we need to bring it next week.
We want to be able to be the best football team in the state, and so that's a big part of it. And just kind of the history, I think there's been a lot of big games between us, so it's always good to beat Weber. Kind of makes your day or your week, your year.
Now over to basketball. The SUU men's basketball team hosts West Coast Baptist College tonight at 6:30 in the America First Event Center. Redshirt senior forward Dwayne Morgan and transfers Cameron Aluyatin and Andre Adams look to lead the T-Birds this season as they hope to improve upon last year's 13-win season. Freshman Josh Cornish brings an outside presence, while return missionary Mason Fawcett can also light up the long ball. Cal State Northridge transfer Jason Richardson aims to distribute the ball this year, and freshman Harrison Butler has shown his athletic ability already this preseason. Coach Todd Simon has big expectations heading into the new season.
We had a great foundation in the first 2 years. Going into this third season, our expectations are a little bit higher as our culture has been kind of put in place. The guys that led us these past 2 seasons have done a great job in terms of showing this group how and why we do things. And so from that standpoint, as we put these new pieces together, we're certainly excited.
Now over to the Lady T-Birds. The SUU women's basketball team will host the San Diego Toreros Wednesday night at 6:30 to open the regular season. Junior point guard Rebecca Cardenas returns to lead SUU after tallying 105 assists and 8 points per game last season. Junior Ashley Larson should play a big role both in the post and behind the arc. Larson averaged 7 points per game last year, and seniors Brianna Reed aims to finish her career on a high note after leading the T-Birds with 9.8 points per game last season. Trying to bounce back from a 3-win season a year ago, new head coach Tracy Sanders hopes to establish a new team identity moving forward.
We've talked about, playing to our advantages, and I think, being at elevation here, obviously playing a little bit more up-tempo is something that we've kind of tried to instill, but understanding how to be up-tempo and under control at the same time.
The Thunderbirds weren't the only team in the state of Utah in action on Saturday. Let's take a look at how the other college teams did. BYU traveled up to Boise State for their rivalry game. The Broncos scored a touchdown late in the third to go up 21-13 and were able to hold the Cougars on the final play to pull off the 21-16 win and send BYU to a 4-5 record. The Utes tried to keep their Pac-12 South titles hopes alive against Arizona State on Saturday, but things fell apart when quarterback Tyler Huntley broke his collarbone in the game, and now he'll be out for the rest of the season. The Sun Devils were able to upset the Utes 38-20 to shake up the Pac-12 standings. Utah State traveled to Hawaii with one of the nation's best offenses to take on Cedar City local John Ursua and the Rainbow Warriors. The Aggies continued their scoring onslaught, beating Hawaii 56-17. The Aggies actually now sit at 8-1 and have scored the second most points in school history while still having 3 games left on the schedule. They currently are ranked number 1 in the Mountain West Conference, sitting comfortably at 8-1. And for good karma, we are going to leave the Purple Wildcats from up north out of this week's review. Now over to the NBA. The Utah Jazz are looking to get out of the downward spiral as they are still winless at home this season. Last night, they got the chance to do so as they played Kyle Lowry and the Toronto Raptors in Salt Lake City. The game started out great for the Jazz as they forced the Raptors to commit 7 turnovers in the first quarter alone and had a hard-fought 31-30 lead going into the second quarter. Throughout the first part of the second quarter, the Raptors battled back and forced multiple lead changes, but were eventually able to break away and go up 65-54 at the half. The rest of the game was even more rough than the second quarter as the Jazz's defense gave up 59 second-half points. Jazz shot a miserable 66% from the free throw line and only 44% from the field. Now the Raptors would go on to win 124-111, giving the Jazz their 4th consecutive loss. Alec Burks was the Jazz man of the night with 22 points off the bench, while 6 of the Raptors scored in double digits. The Jazz seek to end their losing streak tomorrow as they take on Luka Doncic and the Dallas Mavericks at Vivint Smart Home Arena. That's all I've got for you guys today. For SUTV News, this is Kate Higbee. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks for the update, Cade. And in the NFL world, some good upsets. The formerly 7-0 Los Angeles Rams fell to the New Orleans Saints on Sunday Night Football's game. It was 45-35. So now the Rams sit at 8-1. That was a really hard upset. You know, people didn't know whether or not they were going to go farther, how long that streak was going to last. And did you catch the Patriots game against Green Bay?
I caught the very first of it and a little bit in the middle. I did not stay for the rest, but I do know that they did win against the Packers.
It was pretty exciting. The very first run, I mean, they set the pace of that game just on the first offensive drive. I mean, Brady just threw it down for the field. James White scoring the first touchdown. I think it was 3 minutes in the first quarter of the game. So it was a very fast-paced game, pretty evenly matched for the first little bit. Eventually, the Patriots got more of a lead, started taking advantage of the holes in the defense. Some rough calls for the Packers again. One of their players was actually ejected from the game. So exciting things happening in the sports.
Thanks for the update, Cade.
We'll be right back.
Suicide touches the lives of many Americans. You may know someone who's attempted suicide or someone who died from it. Perhaps even you have had thoughts of suicide. For every American who dies from suicide, many others attempt it, and even more may consider taking their own life. I need your help. Please call the number on your screen to learn how you can help prevent suicide.
If you store your guns properly, I'll feel safer when I'm playing outside.
Safer when walking home.
I won't have to tell so many family members. I'm sorry.
I won't hear as many scary stories.
And I won't have to tell my kids. This isn't a drill.
Please.
Please, do it for us.
Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always, lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
If you keep tanning, indoors or out, the effects of harmful rays will show up on your skin. Wrinkles, age spots, and an increased risk of melanoma, the second most common cancer in women 15 to 29. Stop tanning. Time may not be on your side. Learn how to protect your skin at spotskincancer.org. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
Cancer will strike more than 175,000 kids worldwide this year alone. The likelihood that teens and young adults will survive cancer is far greater when treated by pediatric oncologists. Survival can depend on experts in childhood cancer and collaborative groundbreaking research. To learn how you can help keep these kids in play, go to stbaldrick's.org/inplay or standuptocancer.org/pediatrics.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
A brand new trip to New Zealand is underway, and our reporter Colton Warren has the story.
Toa Tawa, Kyle Bishop, and Gavin Feller, 3 of SUU's professors, are taking a study abroad trip to New Zealand this upcoming summer. The brand new trip will start May 8th and will end 2 weeks later on the 21st of 2019. Professors Bishop and Tawa are a part of the English department on campus, and Professor Feller is a part of the communications department. Professor Feller had this to say concerning the new study abroad.
It's open to any student, so you don't have to be a freshman or a junior. It doesn't matter. You could be a senior, you could be a super senior. The idea is that we're willing to make it work for whatever you want to do.
Bishop and Tawa are more focused on the writing aspect of the trip, which 2 of the courses they offer on the trip are Lord of the Rings themed. Other courses include intercultural communication and film production that will also be focusing on a Lord of the Rings theme with Gavin Feller, in which case you don't want to miss. On the trip, you won't just be visiting the film landmark itself. Students will also have a chance to do several different things.
Whitewater rafting one day, several hikes, some to some really pretty waterfalls, some visits to some beaches. There's a really cool beach that has hot springs on the beach, Hobbiton, where the Lord of the Rings set, and also some cultural events and local places that have meaning for Indigenous people.
And even though the trip will cost over $3,000, Tawa says that you truly do not want to miss the opportunity to do such an amazing feat like this. Anyways, my name is Colton Warren, reporting to you from SUTV News.
With Halloween behind us, Oktoberfest was a huge hit for people of all ages. Our reporter Zach Adams has the story.
Oktoberfest. Come out with your friends and family to enjoy the festivities and drink some beer of all kinds of culture, mostly the German. Down in sunny St. George on October 20th at the Bloomington Country Club, they had their own little Oktoberfest. From the food to what people were wearing, people enjoyed the German culture. A lot of people in the community were able to show up for free and enjoy live entertainment, along with some of the club members golfing in the back. They had a lot to offer for people of all ages. While the parents were enjoying beer and food, the kids could play cornhole, go bowling, or even play in a bounce house for their entertainment. If you haven't gone to any October festivities this month, I encourage you to go.
Hi, my name is Andrew. I'm here at the Bloomington Country Club. Today they're doing Oktoberfest here. It's a nice family-friendly event. You can bring your kids. They have all kinds of things. Like for the kids, they have a bounce house. They have a little bowling course set up. They have a tournament for cornhole. For the adults, they have things like a raffle. They have a live band. They have food, and you can win all kinds of prizes. So I highly recommend coming here to Oktoberfest at the Bloomington Country Club. So if you're looking to have a good time, I tell you, this is the best place to do it.
This has been Zach Adams, Southern Utah's SUU TV News. Have a great day.
So, voting season is among us. Today is election day. Have you guys voted?
I have voted, yes.
Me as well. Yeah.
I have voted.
I have not.
Ansley?
You can still go down.
I have to. The thing is I'm registered in my hometown, Pleasant Grove, and so I have yet to switch my address.
Well, see,
so I'd have to
they
drive
allow
all the
you,
way up.
I don't know if you knew this. They allow you to go and register to vote whatever county you're in on the same day as election day.
I can do it on the same day. Oh, well, there you go.
So for all the Utah voters out there, if you have yet to vote and have been meaning to get out there, you still have that opportunity.
I'm a bad
That's good because there are some big ones. Obviously, with the Prop 2. Wilson Romney, there's a lot of things going on. So.
There are a lot of actual big decisions that we have to make today in our
Thanks for tuning
town.
in, guys. That's all we've got for you today. I'm Kate Higbee.
I'm Ansley Mikesell.
And I'm Cairo Cook.
And I'm Race Knutson. We leave you tonight with a trailer for the upcoming documentary, Running for Hope.
I'm so over this. I'm ready to be done. Regardless of what happens in your life, you've got to have the grit, the mental fortitude to just power through it. And so doing something like this, I think, teaches grit.
You cannot develop strength by living a life of ease. Someone can give you gifts of things, possessions, but nobody can give you a gift of character.
If you're struggling, if you're ever wondering if you can do it, man, I don't know if I can do it. I'm here to give you that hope. I know you can.
Until you've pushed yourself as far as you can go, and then pushed yourself a little further, and a little further, that's when you start discovering what's in you.